All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to get into Site Reliability Engineering, or SRE. But we're not just going to talk about what it is. We're going to dig into the why and the how, and really treat SRE like what it is, one of the most critical conversations happening in tech right now.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. I absolutely love this quote from Effie Muzelli. It just nails the whole spirit of SRE, you know? It's not some simple checklist you just tick off. No, it's a journey, a continuous one. And look, it can be tough, for sure. But that clarity you get, those dashboard views, man, they are so worth it.
Right, exactly. So let's cut through the buzzwords. What are we really talking about here? SRE is not just slapping a new title on your ops team. Not at all. It's a massive shift in how you think, how you approach building and running software. It's really a culture, a practice, that's all built around this constant, data-driven conversation.
So to really get SRE, you got to go back to the beginning. You have to understand the problem it was created to solve. And that problem is that classic natural tension, you know the one, between the folks building all the cool new features and the folks who are responsible for just keeping the lights on.
Okay, so here's the formal definition, the textbook answer. SRE basically takes all the good stuff from software engineering, automation, data analysis, thinking about scale, and applies it to operations problems. But, and this is the key takeaway, it's not just about keeping the machines happy. The real goal here is sustainability. Sustainability for the systems, yeah, but also, and this is so important, for the people who pour their lives into building and running them.
Okay, so that's the what and why. But how do you actually do SRE? Because it's not just some abstract philosophy, right? There's a real practical playbook you can follow to get started. Let's walk through some of those foundational practices. You'll see how they all stack up.
And this is where it all begins. Seriously, everything starts right here. Look, before you can have any kind of productive conversation about reliability, everybody in the room has to agree on what's actually happening, on reality. That's what monitoring and observability give you. It's that shared source of truth. It's what takes you from, I feel like the system is slow, to, hey, look, the data shows our latency is up 15%. See the difference? One is a feeling, the other is a fact.
And this, right here, is a brilliant way to see where you should put your energy first. This hierarchy shows you that once you have that solid foundation of monitoring, then you can build an effective incident response on top of it. And from there, you learn from those incidents, which then feeds back into making your testing and release process better. It's like building blocks, you see? Each level supports the next one up.
But here's the thing. Having the playbook isn't the whole story. It's not quite enough. I mean, you can follow all the steps perfectly, but if that underlying mindset isn't there, you're going to hit a wall. The real game-changing transformation with SRE, it comes from a fundamental shift in how you see the world.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it means you're not just focused on your one little piece of the puzzle. You're zooming out and seeing the whole system. It means you're relentlessly curious. You don't just fix a bug, you ask why. Why did this happen? Over and over again. It means you have a healthy relationship with failure. An incident isn't a reason to point fingers, it's an incredible opportunity to learn something new. And maybe most importantly, it's about focusing your precious time on the work that's going to have the biggest, most meaningful impact.
All right, let's try a little pop quiz. Put that SRE mindset to the test. Imagine this, an alert fires. 14 of your 100 servers are down. What's your gut reaction? Do you panic? Hit the big red button? Is it time to page everyone and wake up the CEO at 3 a.m.?
Well, the true SRE answer is, it depends. See, a crisis isn't about a raw number. It's about a deviation from what's normal that's actually hurting your users. Think about it. If it's totally normal for 15 servers to be failing at any given moment with zero user impact, then 14 down isn't a crisis. Heck, it's a good day. SRE is about data, not drama. Without that context, you're just guessing.
Okay, so this leads perfectly into the next big question. How do you take this individual way of thinking and make it spread? How do you scale it into a culture for your entire team? Well, the secret is in building the right habits, so that doing the reliable thing becomes the easy thing, the default path for everyone.
And to help us with that, we can actually borrow a killer framework from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. He basically says that any habit you have, good or bad, follows these 4 simple laws. And the cool part is you can use them to intentionally design your work environment to make good habits happen and bad habits, well, not happen.
And check this out. This is how you apply that directly to SRE culture. You make it obvious with dashboards that anyone can understand at a glance. You make it attractive with blameless postmortems where learning is celebrated, not punished. You make it easy by automating all that tedious, repetitive work. And finally, you make it satisfying by connecting the dots and showing everyone how their reliability work helps the whole company win.
Now, a culture like that, it doesn't just pop up overnight. It's super important to remember that becoming an SRE organization is a journey, not a destination. So let's look at the stages that teams usually go through. Because honestly, knowing where you are right now is the first step to getting where you want to be.
So most teams start out as pure firefighters, just reacting to every alert, putting out fires all day. Then, as things get a little better, there's this big temptation to become the gatekeepers, controlling every single change that goes out. But that's not the goal. The real evolution is to become advocates for reliability, and then the holy grail, true partners, who are there from day one, helping design reliable systems. But that gatekeeper stage, that one's a trap.
Yeah, getting stuck in that gatekeeper role is probably one of the biggest ways SRE initiatives fail. It just creates this toxic us versus them culture. It grinds everything to a halt, and it just flat out doesn't scale. The point isn't to be a human bottleneck. The point is to automate the safety checks so that every team can move fast and safely.
So, I think the most important thing to get here is that SRE is not a static dogma. It's not some rule book you read, implement, and then poof, you're done. No way. It's a living, breathing field. It's constantly evolving, being shaped by this amazing global community of people who are out there in the trenches, sharing what works and what doesn't.
And you can totally be a part of that conversation. There are so many ways to get involved. I mean, you can read the classic Google books, you can go to conferences like SRECon, or hey, just start a little book club with your team to watch some of those conference talks on YouTube and talk about them. The point is, the knowledge is out there. It's just waiting for you to grab it. And that really brings us to the final takeaway here. Your systems, they're constantly talking to you. Every single alert, every little latency spike, every smooth release, it's all part of a story they're telling you about their health. So if there's one thing to remember from all this, it's that SRE gives you the mindset, the tools, and the culture to finally understand that story, to stop hearing it as just noise, and to start being an active part of that conversation about reliability. Thanks for joining me.